Hi there, it's Andrew from C1D Paintball, and for this video, it is a small mountain video. It's actually the second small mountain video. Small mountain meaning small teams, so 3v3. First video was the attacking side, me with the camera attacking. This time I am defending. So a lot of people that have played at LaSalle Paintball before, or maybe just watched a lot of our other videos, are probably familiar with the setup. So even though we've done the one video attacking, the whole idea of it, instead of being like at least 10 guys on each side with only 3, I think it comes across a little bit better, the impact of it more on defense, because there are times when you attack where you might take a lesser lane, like I did in the one small mountain video where I took the bottom cave area, and there isn't often a lot of guys there. But in this one, you really get the feel of the fact that there's only 3 here, and it's really a mini monumental task to defend in that type of situation. Alright, so for this game, I am on a team with 2 other C1D members, that is Alex and Colton. Now, there's another C1D member in the game, and that's Connor, but he's playing on the other side with one of our regular guys. We play with him lots and lots of times. Good, fair player, always great to see him out there. And we're playing with another experienced player. I don't recall playing with him before. That's not an insult to him. I'm sure we might have played with him before, but I just don't recall him offhand. Please, if you're actually watching this video, don't be insulted by that. I did remember you're a decent player. And at the end of the day, in the video, you will get the last laugh. I wonder what that means. Now, of course, even if you haven't played at the field before, played mountain, or seen any of the videos, if you're an experienced paintball player, and I said, well, normally this is a game type and part of the field geared for big amounts, large amounts of people, and it's small teams now, you'll know automatically that the standard ways to attack and defend are basically out the window. Now, I did mention a little bit before that, you know, when I was attacking in the first video of the 3v3 like this, it was in a catacomb area, and that it's not unusual to use the same tactics more in the attacking, the defense in small teams, but definitely you'll see it in how we set up on this one. It's all out the window, and we didn't really think about how we were going to defend. Like, we're not driving to the field knowing, hey, let's defend on mountain with 3 guys. It's just the way when we showed up and we were the first ones there. Important to note, it was the start of the day, so there wasn't a lot of people there. We always like to go there early and practice like this. So it was really a neat little challenge to kind of on the spot figure out how to play this. And of course, the biggest difference here between when you have a lot of players and just 3-on-3 is if you're playing defense normally, you lose 1 guy. You're all at the regular amount. You start with 10 players. You lose 1 guy, no big deal. There's 9 others. There's probably a guy really close to the guy who got shot who can literally take a spot. Not an option when you only got 3, and it can turn the tide. I mean, it goes without saying that the attackers can call out and say, hey, I got a defender. You take them out right away. Big advantage to the attackers, and vice versa. If you're defending, you take one of the attackers out. I mean, big swing on that. I know, I probably didn't have to explain that too much, but just in case, I'll throw that out there. And you know what? Enough of my talking. As you know, I can talk a lot. But let's get to the game action.
What? Let's do this, boys! Woo! What? Are you crazy? Are you going up? What are you doing? There's this, okay, here. I'm gonna do you a favor. This is where you're gonna go. Yeah, that's what you do. The reason you're doing that is me and him will improvise otherwise.
Alright, me and you are upstairs, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but should I stay down here? He's got that covered.
So, Alex and I are going to commit to defend the top. Obviously, in this situation, you're either going to go all out, 3 guys on the top or the bottom, or 2 and 1, right? Those Those are your choices. Make more sense for the attacking team to do 3-on-1 floor and charge in. On defense, too big of a risk, so with Alex and I on top, Colton's going to go on the bottom floor. Colton has a little bit of experience, but he's not really, he doesn't have that many paintball games under his belt when this happens. So we're going to put him in a little spot that is a bit infamous on the field. It's kind of an OP spot in a regular circumstance, and it's on the first floor, and he's a little spot where he's got this really sharp angle on the catwalk on the second floor where attackers come down. He can be taken out from here, from on top there, but it has to be a really good shot. The reality is, 9 times out of 10, if the guy's coming on the top there and knows of that spot and is trying to take the defender out, 9 times out of 10, that defender's gonna pop him for sure, or at least get the first few shots off. I don't feel bad putting Colton here because of 2 things. One, he isn't horribly experienced. So he isn't used to, I mean, we're gonna tell him guys are gonna come straight down there, but there's still things to figure out on it. But the most important thing is his flanks on the first floor are totally exposed. Alex and I are on top. Pretty easily, an attacker can go on the main floor, and if if Colton's not paying attention to the main floor and just looking at that campy spot, he can be taken out easily. So I figure it isn't unethical to put Colton there because he doesn't have a lot of experience, and it's not as OP as normal because he is really exposed on the first floor.
You go there. Yep, we're good. I'll go there.
So when I was editing this video, I saw this little freeze frame here, this part of the video that I made a freeze frame of, and I laughed. You see this little hole that I'm outlining here? That's a little spot that's been patched since. So not long after this video, I'd say that this spot was covered up, because if you're standing here on top defending, you can see right down to the caves on the first floor, and you can easily pick a guy off from there. How do I know? Well, I was picked off at least once or twice. There's even a video, I think it's one of my stupid mountain videos we did, that shows me getting hit from that spot. But like I said, they did patch it up to take it away because, you could exploit it, especially if you got like I keep saying 10 players on each side. There was often where there's like 12, 15 players on each side. And some people were taking advantage and catching a lot of noobs and hitting them off the top of the head here. I mean, face it, you're on top of them. In this little spot, you're more than likely going to hit him in the head. Anyway, just thought I'd point that out. So you see Alex here, and he's backed up a little bit from this little square window on the side of the mountain. This is an infamous spot for those that played the field, because when you're attacking the mountain, you see it, and you very often can get a defender in there, because a lot of noobs will just look in that little window, they'll put their head right up to it, and they'll look out for any attackers, and they get popped all the time. As a matter of fact, I'm going to run this little video here of a time that I was playing with my company, and one of the guys I work with, well, there, he puts his head out there, he gets popped in the face. And shouldn't have taken his mask off quickly, but he put it right back on again because he had a mouthful of paint. But in this situation, once again, there's only 3 people on each team. Plus Alex is being a little careful, so he's back a bit. But the chances of him having one of the guys actually waiting, camping out for him to poke his head out here are pretty low. So it's a pretty smart move by Alex to do this. And once again, he's back a little bit just to hedge his bet. Now I've decided to join Alex on this side of the second floor of Mountain, place I often used to refer to as the Alamo. Now when the video starts up again, you're going to hear shots ring out because Colton's going to be under pressure on the first floor, but let me just explain to you why I went up here on top. Normally, when you have a lot of players, you will have a couple guys up here, but you'll have one guy in the corner bunker, which I'm going to show on this little diagram. Usually there's a guy there who can really cover the back wall. I figure this is too predictable. There's good experienced players on the other team. If one of us was to go there, I think we'd be pinned easily. Plus, it's a bit psychological. I think the attackers think somebody may be up there if anybody's on top. And certainly if you'd asked them and told them, hey, there's two defenders on top, they would probably not think they're both on this other side. Plus, if Colton gets wiped on the first floor and they're coming up the stairs or coming up the back wall, or even if they try to be brave and go through the catwalk here, the main catwalk into the second floor, really, with our backs to the wall, literally, I think that Alex and I could have a decent opportunity, a decent chance of defending there, as long as we're in the right position. And you'll see later why I mentioned as long as we're in the right position. Anyway, like I mentioned, this is going to start up again. You're going to hear some shots being fired towards poor old Colton, who's all alone by himself. All alone implies by himself on the first floor. Now, this angle I'm holding is a traditional defensive position on Mountain, whether there's 10, 15 players on each side, or even when there's 3. And it's even better for me because I'm left-handed and I heavily favor using the left side. So my angle here I got right now is to the back corridor on the second floor, and players come out. They can either go across my line of sight behind a little barrier that I'll point out in the diagram here, or they can even more easily get behind this little half wall here. But the thing about that, obviously when they're going across that first spot, I can, if I'm ready, and I'm ready at the time of this freeze frame, I can pop off a couple of shots, catch them across. Now if they go behind the half wall, it's a bit tougher for me to get because they actually can enter it just off camera. But if they poke their head up, I can hit them off the top of the head. But once again, I gotta be ready, I gotta be lined up to go, not with my marker down. And at the time of this screenshot, I definitely was. Now let's see what happens next. Okay, so off camera, so my peripheral vision as it is, I see the shadow of an enemy player who's along the back wall. Now, I made the decision and I'm about to fire a few shots. The decision was to shoot at him right away and kind of keep him from coming in because it wasn't a good shot. Or do I wait that extra few seconds for him to either come across to one of those two spots and try to get him there? I've decided to just keep him from even attempting to go there. Even if he comes across and I miss the shot, you know, I still could have him pinned to a certain degree, but I've decided, you know what, I don't want him to get anywhere near there. I want them to stay in the hallway, maybe even second guess themselves and go back and maybe try to recircle on the first floor or a different angle. Basically, I want to kill the clock. So I've made that decision and, you know, let's see how it pans out. All right, so let's play some mind games. I mentioned in the previous little break that I wanted to keep them from even trying to take a spot, just keep them held back, not let them even get near the front door. So mind game here is I got my laser on the back wall. Now, it's true, experienced players, lasers don't intimidate them as much, but still, we're all buddies. We're not ultra serious here. So you want to maybe just try to throw a curveball and see if you can make them swing on it. So by putting the laser back here, they already know I was in the area because I was firing shots. But by the laser up there, I just didn't fire shots and move. They know that, hey, I fired at you, the laser's on the wall, make them think this guy's ready for me. Now, one important thing is, if it happens to be Connor there, he knows it's me. Does he still worry that he knows I'm there? Connor may not be as worried seeing there's a laser thinking, oh, there's an enemy there. He knows it's me. He knows I'm not the best shot in the world. He's still going to be careful because as long as my laser's on the back wall, that means, you know, hey, it's right below my barrel, so at least the marker's aimed in the right area. But anyway, it boils down to just playing a little mind games because I want to kill that clock, because if 8 minutes go by and they don't take us all out, defenders, us, we win the game. So this is one of my go-to plays. I've done it many times. I don't actually see an enemy, but I lean out the window and I fire a few shots along the main exterior catwalk of the second floor. So it is, you know, it is mind games. I don't see anybody there, but whichever enemy is already in the hallway, they may think, oh, somebody else is firing from there, feel a little heat. Maybe there's another attacking player behind that other guy, and make them second guess it. Again, psychological game. You know, I'm just trying to kill the clock with this move because, you know, when you're defending in this type of situation, the clock is your friend. So I decided to check in on Colton, and there he is. There were a flurry of shots here before, so I just want to make sure he's okay. So for now, he's still standing. Now, we've got the enemy pre-firing up on top. I've fired some volleys, I flashed my laser. You know, they know at least I'm up here, but I'm looking at this little barrier because it's time I adjust a little bit, and I can't just sit here the whole time. So I'm looking at that spot and I'm thinking, that's a nice spot. Maybe I should go there.
How did I miss you? He's it. We're gonna watch from up here. We're both hit. I don't know why you're stinging like that.
You want us to go up?
We'll go up. Coming out, 2 hits, 2. No, stay. Okay, we'll stay here. Dead man in the corner. Oh yeah, we'll go tower. Okay. Coming out on the bridge, 2 dead players. Dead men walking here. Oh my God.
So Randy takes me out. He's probably upset that I don't remember his name or played with him before. But he takes me out, and really, I still defend the idea that I had to move to a different spot. But I did make a mistake nonetheless because I was really standing upright too much when I made the move. I should have crouched down a little better. I mean, make no mistake, he's a good shot, but I made it a little bit easier for him. And you can even see when on the freeze frame here as I'm going across, you can see his head here. And you know, I do remember when I went across, it's like, oh man, there he is. But before I could react, and by the way, as I went across and saw his head, you can see there's a support beam. There's a lot of stuff in my way. Now, if I'm behind all that stuff, you'd think it's harder for him to shoot me, but it isn't necessarily, because if he's fixated, he'll see all that stuff and he just keeps his barrel aimed on the other side of it because he knows I'm coming across, so he's waiting for me. And that's it. I'm taken out. And shortly after, Alex is taken out. And yeah, that pretty well leaves Colton all alone downstairs, and yeah, he didn't make it. Sorry, Colton.
I had to jump on him. I didn't get him though. No, he was just kind of in the corner there. He had the good angle and he crept in. Because we didn't have somebody in the corner, I figured it was worth trying to put two of us there. He's about to die. I don't know why we're both left hand there.
So that is it for this video. Now, as I edit this, it is June 2021. In the past, like 15, 16 months, C1D guys, so me, Connor, and whoever we brought, or whoever we met at the field, because of COVID, we only went out 3 times. So a lot of the work I've been doing editing the videos in the past, in that time, has been older videos, and this is one of them. You know, it kind of went to the back burner because it's only a 3-on-3, but I'm glad I did it because there is some good value to it, I feel. But what I'm trying to get to is right now, things are looking better with COVID. People get vaccinated, the daily cases are going down, especially in Quebec where we are in Canada. And the fields are opening up. There's limited amount of people, and I'm gonna wait for my second shot, but there's gonna be some new footage soon. I mean, none of these videos I release are rehashed footage, but I mean, with LaSalle Paintball closed down, you're gonna see lots of new fields, hopefully really soon. And new fields, new fun, and that's it. Thanks for watching, and remember, go out there, have fun, be respectful, help the noobs, because at the end of the day, it's only a game.
Game over.